Hi, my name's Ariel. I'm one of the career and academic advisors for our online students.
And my name is Kellie Ziemak. I am the project coordinator for student services. Today we're going to be talking about career and academic pathways and what that means for you guys as students. Career and academic pathways is basically when you fill out the application, you're going to be asked, choose a community. And you may be wondering, what's a community? What should I be choosing? A community is basically just grouping together degrees, similar degree programs. And it's a great way to do some career clarification. So maybe you're interested in, say, a healthcare program, but you're not sure exactly which one. The community will allow you to explore all of our healthcare programs and meet other students who are interested in healthcare programs as well. So being in a community will expose you to different events, different guest speakers, activities maybe in class, or even field trips to help you gain more skills and knowledge in those areas. So once you submit an application and you choose a committee once you choose a community, you will be assigned a career and academic advisor who is really skilled and knowledgeable about that community. And they'll be able to help you with the ins and outs of that specific major. Ariel, do you want to tell us a little bit more about how the communities interact with students?
So the goal of communities at its heart is to support students from the day they enroll to the day they graduate. And the main points of that are that we want to help you select your path, we want to clarify what you need to complete that path, and then we want to help you stay on that path. As far as selecting a path, like Kellie said, you're going to be in a community with things that may be of interest to you. Some students come in and know exactly what they want to do from day one. That's awesome. Some students aren't sure. They know, maybe I want to be in medicine, or maybe I want to go into education, but I'm not sure what area. So being in a community is going to give you an opportunity to see different career fields, different degrees, and determine what's best for you.
And I think the most important thing, too, is that you're not stuck in that one community. So if you're in a community and you realize, not so much for me, it's okay. You can switch communities.
Definitely. And that's one of the nice things is that we're trying to keep, in your first semester or two, things pretty similar so that if you do switch communities, you're not going to be losing, classes that aren't going to count anymore, things like that. And so once you select a path, then we want to help clarify the steps for that. So whether you're planning to get an AA degree and then transfer into a bachelor's program, or whether you want to get an AS or certificate, go straight into the job market, we want to help you get there. So decide the degree, that's perfect, but then what steps do I need to take? What classes do I need? When should I take those classes? How do I write a resume? What's the job market like? All of those sorts of things will help you discuss and discover. And then staying on the path is one of the critical things. So once you have locked in what you want to do, we want to make sure that you're getting the classes you need and not taking excess classes. In the past, we've had some, a tendency students kind of come in, they're not sure, they kind of wander for a little bit, and then they might end up with extra classes that they didn't necessarily need to take. So we're trying to help prevent that so that you're not putting your time and money into something you don't need and you're graduating as quickly as you can.
And during your first couple of weeks here at SPC, you actually create an academic plan that you can follow throughout your time here to make sure that you are taking the right classes in the right order to get you graduated in a timely manner, right?
Exactly, because that's why you came to us, is you wanted to get your degree and graduate, so we want to help you get there. And the support system that we're putting in place for that is called the Triangle of Success, which is your assigned academic advisor, all the faculty members, and then learning support centers, so that you have resources that are all tailored to you. When you go to our learning support center, if you come to campus, or we have online learning support, there's resources for your classes and the degree you're in. You know that those learning support people have spoken with your faculty members to see what kind of assignments you have, that sort of thing. And then advising, as Kellie mentioned, your advisor is going to be a specialist in the community that you're in, so they're going to be able to answer all the nitty-gritty questions that you might have, so that you never have to worry, am I doing the right thing? Did I miss something? You have people all around who are going to be supporting you.
We also have a question. So the question is, are the checkups with the advisor scheduled automatically, or do we need to set them up?
So there's going to be a combination of both. When you first enter, you are going to have an introductory advising session that every student gets when they first start at SPC. And then your assigned advisor will check in with you periodically on a scheduled basis. So they'll send out reminders about registration windows. They might check in with you if they see that you're struggling in a class, something like that. Or just to say, you know, hey, how's everything going?
Yep.
But we do have the option, if you run into an issue, if you have a question, you can schedule an appointment with us at any time, and we'll be willing to help you.
Yep, exactly. We also have another question. Also, is there a minimum limit to the amount of classes you can take per semester?
There is not. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. So if you feel like one class is, you know, what you can handle and be successful in, that's perfect. You know, work on that class. If you want to take more, we can work up to it. But there's no minimum.
There's no minimum. What we try to figure is that, say you're taking 4 classes, which equals 12 credit hours. The time that you go to class and do your homework, it's almost similar to a 40-hour work week. So you figure one class is about, you know, 10 hours or so.
Yeah.
So that's just some basic guidelines. So if you're working, like, say, a 40-hour-a-week job, just know that if you do take 4 classes, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so we definitely encourage part-time if you need to.
And if you're not sure, your advisor is well trained in that sort of thing and willing to discuss it with you. So you can always say, you know, I have this sort of work commitment, I have kids, this, that, and the other. What would you recommend? Here's what my strengths and, you know, areas of improvement are, and they can help you make educated decisions based on your circumstances.
Exactly. So do we have any other questions? I think, too, I really like the triangle success model. I think that really has that wraparound services that the student will feel comfortable, because you do have the faculty member talking to the career and academic advisor, talking to the learning support. So that learning support person or that learning support tutor will have those assignments and can help the student through that. We have another question. Yay, thank you. So this question is, I'm located in Jacksonville and interested in a bachelor's program. Would that work for me being in a different city?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes. It depends on which program you're in, but yes, we have a ton of online degree programs, and we have a significant portion of students who are in different cities or even in different states, and it's fully possible to succeed and do well and graduate.
And Ariel, you're actually an online advisor.
Yeah. So that's most of my students that
right.
I work with are elsewhere. And you're still going to get that same level of support. Like I said, we have a ton of online learning support. Your online advisor is available just as much as a campus advisor, and in what format works for you. So if you prefer talking to somebody rather than reading emails, we'll give you a call. If you prefer emails and you can't take a call during the day, that's fine. We'll send you an email. But you'll have the support you need to succeed online.
Exactly. Another question. I have a student number for when it was St. Pete Junior College. Would that count? It should. Our student numbers go back to, I think, the 1920s or 30s. I feel like they go way back. So it should definitely work. If not, we can help you through that process, but I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Yeah. And I can jump in chat in a little bit and or email, and I can give you guys some additional information about readmission for former students if you're interested.
Okay. We have another question. I love these questions. Keep them coming. Would clepping out from life experience be covered by tuition reimbursement? So I think I need a little bit more clarification what life experiences are.
Because there's a couple things we have. There is like the CLEP test, and then we also have a program called the Experiential Learning Program, which is more based on like your work experience or life experiences, those sorts of things. As far as I know, neither one of those is under tuition reimbursement, right. But they are definitely a less expensive alternative to regular tuition cost.
Okay. Is there any deadlines to being a part-time student with finishing a degree? Are you talking about deadlines that you need to finish it by a certain time period? Like you only have a certain amount of time completing it? If so, then no, you have to complete it by a certain timeline. If you're a part-time student, we just build your schedule for a part-time student. So, and we just want to make sure that you're taking the appropriate classes that you need to take for your degree.
Right.
Okay, can you explain the honors program? Do you have to take a certain number of credit hours to graduate in the honors college?
Let me get back to you on that one. The honors college, there are certain requirements to be admitted, and they're a little different for new students versus current SPC students. As far as the class limits and things, I can look into that and get back to you. And then there's also, we have the honors college graduation, or not separate graduation, but honors college program. And then also students who aren't in the honors college can still graduate with honors on their diploma, depending on their GPA. But I can get some more details for you.
Yep, just I believe if we get your email address, and we can definitely follow up with you. Another question, I am interested in bachelor's in public policy and administration. Great program. Could I pay out of pocket and attend online? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, not a problem.
Yeah.
Definitely, you definitely can do that. Do we have any other questions? Great. Hold on just a moment. Okay, how much does it cost for one 3-credit-hour class? How is the tuition payment plan broken up for the semester?
Good question.
Those are good questions.
So the tuition cost for lower division classes, so that's going to be your associate level classes, is roughly $110 per credit hour. And then there are a few fees on top of that. For most classes, with fees and tuition and everything included, for a 3-credit class, it's usually around $380, $390 per class. And then, I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question?
The second part of the question is
how
it's
it's
the
broken
tuition
up.
plan
Okay.
broken up. Yes.
So with the tuition payment plan, there's a couple deadlines for enrollment. If you enroll in the earliest deadline, what will happen is you'll have a $35 to $40 down payment fee, and then your payments will be split over usually 4 months for a fall or spring semester, 3 for summer, and then it decreases from there. So the closer you get to the start of the semester, the fewer payments it's going to be condensed into, and as you approach closer to the semester, you may have to pay one section of the payment immediately rather than waiting until the next month.
So if you want to use the payment plan, get in early.
Yes.
That's the key. Okay. Do we have any other questions? I think we do.
One more.
Hold on just a moment. Do you have to pay the enrollment fee for the payment plan every semester?
You do.
Yes.
The payment plan is controlled by a financial company outside of SPC, so it's a service fee on their end, so it is every semester.
Correct. Do you know how much that is off the top of your head?
It depends on the enrollment date, but I think the highest is 45 and the lowest is 30 or 35.
Yeah. So again, if you're going to use the payment plan,
earlier
is better. Exactly.
I think it looks like we've got another question.
Okay.
I love that people are interactive.
I do too. Thank you, guys. Okay. I've only been a Florida resident for a little over a year and still have a Pennsylvania driver's license. Will that be an issue to qualify for in-state tuition?
Possibly not. We have several types of documentation that we accept for residency. So it's entirely possible that you could meet those requirements even though your driver's license isn't. So if you have a Florida voter's registration card, vehicle registration, things like that, you could still qualify for in-state tuition.
Yes. So again, if you want us to follow up with you, just let us know and we can give you information on what qualifies for that residency. The other question is, what classes would I be allowed to CLEP on with 30 years of working experience?
Good question.
Yes.
So on our website, we have a link to the full list of the CLEP tests and the classes that they equate to here. And then for the life experience, work experience, that experiential learning program, it's pretty open. There are a few courses that are excluded from the health sciences programs and nursing programs, things like that. But generally speaking, most of your general education classes like composition, humanities, computer literacy, things like that, you could certainly apply for the experiential learning credit. Up to a maximum of 45 credits total between your experiential learning, CLEP, all of those sorts of things.
Sounds good. Okay.
Thank you guys so much. And if you have any other questions, jump in chat or send us your email. We're glad to help out.
Thank you.